Okay, Keith Shannon with directcarpet.com. Let's talk about installing your stair runner today. Now, we're going to get into a few techniques that I'm using here to put in this stair runner. Just let it roll a little bit so you can see what's going on, and then we'll start talking about it. Now, we've lined this stair runner up centered to the upcoming landing, and as you can see, we are forming under the nose as we go. We've started at the bottom and we're working our way up. Now, you should always center your stair runner and make sure that your stair runner, look at you see me measuring there, we're on course all the way up. Now, no stair is straight. We want to make sure that we course correct all the way up. It doesn't matter if you're installing from the top down or the bottom up. You always need to make sure you're course correct. A lot of people like to put masking tape on each side all the way up so they feel that they're in line and in a row. You can do that as well. I use a tape measure or a spacer. So you can see we're not using tack strip with this carpet. We just have the underpad under with an inch cut back on the sides for the staples and an inch on the back for the staples. You can see I'm scoring here with a carpet tucker. Nice grooves make nice looking stair runners. We're going to pop a staple every inch or so all the way along down there, and then we are going to grab our stair tucker or our carpet tool and bang it in all the way with a hammer. You can use a rubber mallet if your ears are sensitive, and then we have a nice groove. As we're working our way up, we are pre-forming, getting under the nose. If you do not pre-form it, when you go to staple it, it might pop out on you because it's too much pressure. That's really why we form it a little bit, bend it a little bit, if you will. And you can see I'm using a dual fast staple gun. You can use a Roberts staple gun. The links will be in the description below. Now, we're working our way up to the first stair runner landing, which will be a right turn. So we're going to cut the extra off, maybe an inch or two above. We don't want to waste anything. We want to use a good blade, and you can see we cut from the left over to the middle and then the right over to the middle. Now we're going to put some pressure on the kicker, and we're going to get in the sides, and then we're going to get in the groove. Now where you can't really see because my butt's in the way, but we're doing the right side. 3 staples on the left, 3 on the right. Now, we will super groove this. This is important because you're not continuing. Groove, groove, groove. Then we'll put a little pressure on it. Right, grab the kicker, little pressure, straight up and down with your staple gun, all the way along. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Now you're locked into place. Now we want to use a very sharp blade, left to right, right to left. After we bang this down, right, get the crease good, we're going to go left to right, right to left. With a sharp blade, do not cut your baseboard or your riser there, right? It will show marks. And we're cutting just above the staple line. See how clean that was? That came off nice and clean. We're going to blow out our fluff. Now bear with me, I did this job maybe a month ago, 2 months ago, so as I'm talking, I'm getting refreshed, so if I make a mistake here and there, you'll still get the gist of it. All the stair runners I install are basically the same. We never install felt back stair runners with tack strip, right? Because the tack strip does not grip to it. That's why we use a stapler. So right now, for the landing, I am measuring from the underpad over the nose and down to the side of the stair runner to get an exact measurement for my right turn stair runner landing cut. And I will do this a few times until I feel that I have this measurement. Remember, if you ordered one from us, you only have one. There's no room for mistakes here. Okay, so I measured from the pad and then added an inch. So if it was 44 inches to the underpad, I'm cutting this at 45 inches. We're going to do the same. We're going to mark it with a straight edge. We're going to cut from one side and not through. I'd rather you cut from one side down and then the other side down so you do not get any fraying on the binding. See, sharp blades through. Got to the binding and then I used scissors because I do not want fraying. Okay, we're just going to clean this up. We'll go check it out, see if it's going to fit. right? And I also centered it to my next stair up. You can't just cut it, you have to center it before. Now I had set up the underpad so I knew exactly where it was gonna go. Now when I make my cut at 45 inches, it's still gonna line up proper for going up to the next flight of stairs. We're gonna get that in nice and lined up, exact on each side. We're gonna bang it down a little bit to make it look seamless. Lock it in. Same on the other side. Groove it, clean it up. I've got the kicker on there just to push it over a little bit. It was probably a short, a quarter of an inch, right? 1/8 of an inch, but you can use that kicker and just push it over, get it lined up, and there you go. Now usually you split the pile before you pop a staple in there. This stuff is so forgiving that you don't see any staple marks at all. This carpet is absolutely amazing. It's an Anderson Tuftex product, just absolutely super cool, brand new for 2025, really cool. And a lot of times when we get these new carpets in, I will be the one to go out and actually install them on a staircase so that I can test them before anybody else does. All right, just grooving in because that landing, you can't see it, but it has a little molding under it, and I want it to be nice and grooved. Now, we've got to measure and we've got to straighten this out. Nothing is ever going to look 90 degrees, but we want it to be worked out with a tape measure and then by eyeball. Right, lock it into place. Remember, we're 1 inch short on the underpad there, so we can lock that down onto the hardwood. And I'm usually going every inch or so with my staple gun. Kick, nice and tight. Okay, and then that side, I'm not going to stretch too much because it's not on the length. Now, let's get rid of this extra here. Usually I leave about 2 inches up. I've got the kicker on an angle you can see so we can tighten it up. Now we're going to tighten it up here, all along the side. Now you can see that molding there. That's always challenging. Now you can cut that out. We're not going to cut that out today. You can cut that out with a vibrating saw. We're going to go right into that. Tighten it, staple, tighten it, staple, tighten it, staple. And see how I've got the staple gun right up and down, not on an angle? Then I'm going to bang that in, and then we're going to take a sharp blade and we're going to cut above the staples. It's nothing worse than hitting steel with a brand new blade. Okay, let's see how we do. We cut left to right, right to left. Watch you don't cut the wood. Look at that. We did not hit a staple. And that's with that method of using the staple gun straight up and down. Okay, clear out the fuzz. You don't want to lock that in when the next stair goes in. Now, we're doing a funky stair runner here. The next couple are pies. So we went from a right turn landing to a pie-shaped stairs. Now, I had to go and template these stairs a couple of days before we made the stair runner because you just can't manufacture these stair runner pieces without a template. And then we have videos to show you how to do that. And then what you do is you make a paper template, and then you just send it to us, and then we trace cut it and send you back the product. Not a problem. We can make anything for any stairs or staircase. Okay, see how I'm banging that down nice and clean? Let's lock it into place right on that trim. Okay, clean that fuzz out. You don't want to lock it under there. Bang that down with your tucker. I'm actually using the tip to bang that down like a 1/4 inch, right, to get it fit nice and tight. Okay, lock it in every couple of inches. Split the pile if need be. You don't want to see indentations. Clean that out. Make sure she's in. And then we're going to work ourselves under the nose at a 90-degree angle. Every inch or so. Okay, I'm going to take the extra off because I don't like working with the pressure when you're trying to stretch that in. Okay, we'll get our kicker on there, make sure that we're, centered. I'm looking to the left, you can't see that. I'm looking to the right, make sure that we look good. Change the position of the kicker if need be. Right, every staircase is different. I've been installing for over 25 years. You're always learning, you're always trying to make it, the best possible thing that you can. No staircase is ever the same. And no staircase is ever straight. Okay, and then you know what? For no fraying, I use the scissors on the end. Right, and later, wherever we've joined those carpets together, we're going to glue with hot melt glue, clear hot melt glue, just a little bit, and that'll stop those edges from ever coming apart. Right, so you can see that this stair, this is the second pie stair up. This is a funky looking stair, right? We have to put paper template on that to make that perfect. And see how that's going to fit nice. And look at those cool lights the guy has on there. I love it. Okay, we hide the little tears. Staple the side all the way along. And remember, you need that pad cut back an inch back or you're going to see indentations. Right? If you do see indentations, you got to bang it down with a hammer. Okay? So we're not doing anything different from when we did the straight stairs. Right? We're starting at the bottom. We're working our way up. We're centering. Now we're going under the nose. 90-degree angle. Every inch or so. All the way along. Right? Now we're on top. We're just making sure it looks as good as possibly can. Because this is a tricky looking stair. You can see. Look it. It's like a miniature landing. It has to be, perfectly lined up on the left and perfectly lined up on the right to make it look like it's straight. Right? So we're going to give it a stretch this way, a stretch that way, till I feel that this looks fantastic. Checking the pad. Oh, good shot. Good close-up right there. Alright, we'll probably give that a kick and lock it in right there in front of the kicker. It's all about manipulating the carpet to suit your needs. Look at this. So the underpad had stretched a little bit, and I felt that it needed to be cut back. Don't be afraid to cut your underpad back. You need that 1 inch back groove. Okay, that's locked in there now. Now we can just continue. There's no stretch on that side because we're going to stretch into the stair. And that'll tighten that up. All right, there we go. I guess we missed the kicker on that. I probably didn't film that part. Sorry about that. But trust me, I did kick that into the riser before I stapled it. Or before I locked it in. Now we'll take the stair tool and hammer and really get a nice groove there. We'll get a sharp blade, left to the middle, and then right. Make sure, again, do not cut your beautiful wood on your risers. Be very careful. I make it look fast and easy, but I've done this a ton of times. If you're doing this for your first time, be careful on those cuts. You'll slice your riser apart with your blade, and then you'll be all upset with yourself, and we can't have that. Next stair up, last pie. Right, remember I did tell you guys we did do the template. The template video is on our YouTube channel. And we're just going to fit this in as good as we can. Right, so if you're looking to order these, We don't have them on the website for order because they are custom made. As you can see, they're very custom. Look, and you can see that this is probably off a little bit, maybe by 1/4 inch. So we're just gonna line that up, right? So we pulled the bottom one back a little bit, 1/4 inch to fit. And now we're gonna line up. I'm gonna do that all the way along. Staple, lock it in. Sometimes if they bulge out and pop out, we will pop a staple in. Again, under the nose, all the way along. Right, looks good. Okay, now we'll stretch it, top view. Right, you can see me pulling those gaps out of there, nice and tight. And then I'm also looking at the straightness. I know sometimes you guys can't see from the angle of the camera, but I'm always working with the side of the stair to make sure that this is gonna line up. I have pencil marks on the riser. You can't see that, where this needs to line up for the stair runner now, the straight stair runner, to continue on up. Blow that fluff out of there. We're on the home stretch here. I think we got about 5 stairs going up. I don't know if we're going to show you the whole thing. Well, we'll probably show you a few, and then the top riser. Okay, I'm going to line it up there on the right side. Oh, I decided against it because I knew that the other side was a little off. So I'm just going to twist that in 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, push that, line that up, probably to get to the pencil mark that was there. Now we're going to line this up again. Now the inside, the side that I'm working on now, is the side as you're walking up the stairs, is the most important for your eye visually. So we want that as straight as humanly possible. And then we'll work from that side over to the far side, which is out of eyesight. If you guys can see it in the camera, but when you're walking up, you don't really see that side. Right, so now we'll work that down. You can see it's a little off, right? So we've got to try to get that on. Maybe we'll stretch it over with the kicker a little bit. Lock that into place. Look at that. I haven't seen this for a month, but I knew I was going to do something like that. Okay, so the kicker, I locked it in on the other side so we didn't upset that side. Now we're just going to give that a little stretch. Look at this. Watch. Kick, kick. Look at that. Look at that. Here we go. All right, looking good. Lock it into place. Perfection. Okay, we'll finish up along there, and then we'll get under the nose. And remember, we're going to glue any connection points later. It probably will not be shown in the video, but we always glue our connection points. Where did I go? Probably need staples. The staples that we're using are 9/16 by 5/16 crown staples, dual fast. You can get them on Amazon. I'll leave the link in the description down below. The kicker will be in the link. The stair tool will be in the link. Staple gun will be in the link. Blades, etc. Everything that I'm using here I'll leave in the description below. You can link to Amazon and get them yourself. And if you use one of our links, it helps the channel out. Okay, second verse, same as the first. This is a straight stair runner. This is super easy. As long as it's measured and it's going straight up, we are all good. Right, let's get the sides locked in. lot of people ask, you know, will the staples ruin my stairs? You're gonna have to staple the stairs one way or the other. If you use bars, you can use bars. You'll have to use screws to put the bars in. If you use tack strip, you'll have to bang in the tack strip with the nails that are provided. Then you'll have to staple the groove where I'm banging into right now. So there's no way to get away from that. You can't use double-faced tape. It's unsafe. We don't recommend it. Stairs are to be sturdy and safe and not slip on, so we want to secure it. And the thing that people don't really realize is when you cover up a stair with carpet or even the Amazon tread carpet, the stairs are going to fade eventually anyways on the sides, and when you pull that stair runner up, it's all going to be a different color from the discoloration over time. So don't worry about it. We rip off stair runners all the time and replace them with new stair runners. So if you're worried about your wood, in 10 years just get a new stair runner and get it put right over the old marks. No harm, no foul. Okay, so we're just finishing up here, grooving, different point of view. Right, staples every inch. See, our grooves are perfect, right? We go over them and over them and over them. Every time I see somebody, if I look at, someone will send us a review, you know, look at my stair runner, we did a great job. Because we have the contest, right, where you can win your stair runner for free. So we encourage people to send in their DIYs, and they share a picture, to share their pictures with us. And then we see all these indents because they didn't watch the videos on how to do it. The whole thing about a professional stair runner is to make sure it goes up straight and that you don't see the staple marks and that it's tight and secure. That's it. Those three things. Tight, straight, and no indentation. Is it a little bit of labor intensive? Sure it is. But it's not difficult at all. Look at groove this thing. Groove it, groove it, groove it. And then staple every inch. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then grab your stair tool again and your hammer. And now bang those staples in. And that's how you get this fantastic crease. Look at that, looks amazing. And same with underneath. You don't want indentations. If you got to take your stair tool and groove that under there to connect those lines and make sure it's straight, then do the same thing there. All right, you can see we're at the top. Oh, spoke too soon. I guess we're gonna go all the way. Well, let's keep going here. Look at nice and tight. Staple the sides. One every, let's say 3 on each side. That's usually enough. Okay, we're gonna groove this. Looks great with that light there. This carpet is just fantastic. This is Anderson Tuftex. Inbox me if you want the name. Every stair you'll see me do the exact same method. Every stair we grooved underneath. Every stair we stapled 1 inch underneath. Right? Every inch. Look all the way along and on the ends. Here we go. Let's cut the extra off. Everyone asks me, how do I finish off my stair runner? You cut it at the 90-degree in the where the riser and the stair tread meet. So watch this. We're going to tighten this up. We lock it in on the sides. Okay, now we're going to groove with our stair tool, our stair tucker. Right, let's get a nice, crisp 90-degree line in here. Now, apparently I felt it was tight enough. I didn't take my kicker on that. I would like you to take your kicker and tighten that up. Now we're going to bang it down again with a hammer and the Stair tool. Get that wicked groove. We're going to grab a sharp knife, sharp blade. We're going to cut from one side all the way to the other, and then from that side into that. Pull that off. We didn't hit any staples. We're going to blow the fluff out of there. And then we're going to measure for our top riser. Now, all of our stair runners come with all the sides sewn all the way around. That piece that you saw me cut off earlier had a finished top edge. That's the piece that we want you to use. Okay, you can see that edge is finished. I measured 5 inches or 6 inches from each end, whatever it was that I measured on the riser. Now we're going to line those up. With my handy dandy pencil and my tape measure I'm using as a ruler for a straight edge. Now I use scissors and shears rather than a knife for this because I want a nice clean finish to my top of my stair runner. I mean, this is the finishing point, right? Okay, and I will do a test fit. And if you watch how I cut a stair riser, you'll see that I let the ends groove down maybe 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch so that it matches. Remember, you've cut the underpad out there, and that goes down a little lower. So then it looks seamless, right? And look at, I'm fitting it underneath that stair runner quarter round nosing. Right? Tuck it all in. Look, it looks like it came in one piece exactly like that. You can't even tell that that's a piece. That's finished. Rub out the stable marks, clean the whole thing up. Here's your finished result. Now I didn't take, I only took a, what do you call it, a portrait for Instagram. I didn't do a wide video, unfortunately, so you just get the close-up like that. The Instagram, Facebook version, TikTok. But look at that stair runner. Isn't that dynamite? I'm Keith Shannon with Direct Carpet. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, hit me up